Just a quick reminder that with my videos, they're mostly just educational to teach people about tap handles, let them know what sorts of taps are out there. But if you happen to see a tap that is in my collection that you're interested in, let me know. I do markets occasionally in the Boston area. And then in addition to that, I also have adapters and things like that that are available on my site. But if you're looking for a tap, I am happy to either point you in a direction where you can possibly buy one if they're available directly from the brewery, or I can also post up a listing if it's something in my collection that you're interested in. For this particular tap handle, this is a vintage Pabst tap handle, and it's worth noting that there's a couple of things to look for with the older Pabst or Pabst brand tap handles, and one of them is this logo right here. So this kind of leaf that you're going to see, you'll see that repeated a lot in the Pabst as well as some of the other related brand tap handles. So Andeker is another one where you're going to see that logo. There are a couple of different variations of those that I've seen, and so it's worth noting that it may look a little bit different depending upon the tap handle that you get. With this particular one, this one is Pabst Extra Light. It's kind of interesting because I've seen a number of the Pabst Light ones, but the Pabst Extra Light, I don't see as many of those. And you'll notice that this is on both sides. So you've got it on this side here, as well as this side here. Actually, I think that if we look at this, so this is actually kind of interesting. If you look at that reflection, you'll actually notice a little bit of marking around the lettering. So that's pretty cool. That probably indicates that they did multiple layers in order to create that imagery that's there. And with this is normally going to be a sticker type element that is kind of they'll have a recessed area, and then they'll put that sticker in there so that it's flat and reduces the chance of it peeling up or anything like that. But you do always want to check that condition and make sure that that's on there fairly solidly. As I mentioned with that, this is recessed a little bit, and then this is raised area. This does look like it's regular wood, as I would expect from this tap handle and this kind of series of tap handles. But whenever you're checking this out, it's worth noting that with some of the vintage tap handles, you've got a production time when it would have been mostly wood. And then you also have a time when a lot of the brands were actually doing plastic that was designed to look like wood so that they could easily mass produce them. Down here, this is normally where you've got a connection area. So this is normally going to be one flat area. It'll normally have it'll normally have a hole in it, and then this will be a separate turned element that goes into that. I do love the beading that they did there. So you've got beading on the top as well as beading on the bottom, as well as this little metal strip that goes along. And so you can see where it's combined there. So you do always want to check and see if that's there and make sure that's connected. Another thing that's worth noting with some of the vintage tap handles is that the ferrule, this little attachment at the end, is going to be a slightly different design than a lot of the modern ones. So if this is missing, a lot of times you can get a replacement ferrule, but it'll be slightly different. So this one is the original style of the ferrule, and it does still use the 3/8/16 threading. So that means that it'll still work if you've got like a regular tap handle display, or if you're using it with an adapter or something like that, it'll still work with that, even though it's a vintage tap handle.